Okay. Critical save, death averted. So the answer is there was no way for me to survive that. The root of your network within the city. This is a very poor replacement for a full tower, but it'll have to do. If replacing an existing network tower, make sure the new network source is in the middle of your existing buildings, or be prepared to quickly accelerate some network extenders. We failed peace after brutality. Okay, Vorsaber has a lot of nukes. Possibly more than you have particles of dark matter. And that's assuming you don't need to use your dark matter particles for anything else. Oh boy. So we've lost a lot of things. Let's see. Yeah, all of my explosion deaths. So that's a lot. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else other than explosion death of all of my troops. Nope. Okay. Oh. Well, this was my setup. I guess I'm moving down here. Hey, there's the rebel leadership. Well, this has gone... taking a different turn. I did say this was somewhat of a throwaway timeline. Okay, we also need some biomulchers. I'm just gonna have all of these right here. There's a little garden of fake trees. Okay, Neuroweave factory. And more micromulchers, but I already have one, so I don't think we need it. Contemplations. Redesign your everything. Oh. You spent a huge amount of time and energy inventing and extending a powerful network of structures that were a mixture of above ground and hidden. Now the Vorsaber has declared open war, most of that is useless. You barely have any storage space. That said, there are trapped people still active all around the city, picking through the wreckage. There are still humanoid robots among them. You'll have to be much more subtle than before, but you can carve out a life here. Okay, androids. Nickelbot. Well, let's take a look. We have 2 nickelbots and I have no time. Oh, all of your androids died. You have no network tower, but your consciousness darted to a pair of nearby nickelbots. Not sure how, but you even bypassed more recent security patches. Truly a move of desperation. You lost all of your mental energy for the turn, and half of any elemental slurry, microbuilders, and wealth you've collected. Half. The nickelbots are invisible until they move or attack, so they're in danger. Make sure to keep them out of danger. Keep going. You're distributed intelligence. You're more than the sum of your bodies and minds. There's probably something that can kill you, but you don't know what that might be. Just because you can't die doesn't mean that you'll get what you want. Not being able to lose is not the same as winning. Intelligence Class 1. This is cause for concern. Your intelligence class has fallen due to loss of neural network. Class 1 intelligence is roughly that of a human. To break through the limits of physics and material science, you need more. Much more. Return your attention to the city. You know the way, now that you've been a higher intelligence class in the past. World of Rune. Well, so what's the issue? I think just low power. Well, I have to pretty much sack one of these to get this one. 56 engineering. My Nickelbot has that much engineering? I guess so. Okay. So man. Okay. Redesign your everything. You spend a huge amount of time and energy inventing and oh, I already read this. So get started. You only have Nickelbots to work with and your mind feels so tired. You feel smaller. You'll come up with something, but you'll have to start small. Okay, make engineers of your Nickelbots. All you have are these 2 engineers. You have to make them better engineers. You don't have the mental fortitude to shove yourself into the brains of any of the technicians working in the runes. Either that or they improve security again. Well, we've already completed that, I think. But we might have more. So hidden micro builder fab, hidden network relay, disguised point-to-point microwave, and tiny electrical parasite. Okay. So this does not have much room. We need this, is the main one. Because I'm going to need a ton of power. It recommends 41 of these. Oh boy. Well, hidden network relay. I'm just going to slowly extend out into some of these locations. If I can manage to do so. I don't know how many of these I get to make. But I want to just gain access to as many of these city blocks as possible. And yeah, aiming for corners is usually pretty valuable. I appreciate how, like, eerie the music has become as part of all of this. There we go. Let's snag that one. It feels kind of horror-y, all things considered. Okay, now it's time for a bunch of tiny electrical parasites. We want to just have one of these in each of the districts if we can manage it. Let's see. And try and be as close together as I possibly can make them. I'm apparently generating a ton of power. I might want to look into what kind of creative things I was able to come up with. Because we had a number of people in the... Oh god. We had a number of people in my VR cafes generating inspiration points for us. So I should have at least a handful of those that I can spend, possibly to give me somewhat of an edge here. Okay, this area is handled. Yeah, that's not my control zone. Alright. And then hidden micro builder fabs, which I can keep these close to home. Okay, that should be good. Now I have tons of power, but let's... Oh. We've lost access to it, actually, at the moment. We probably need a higher intelligence level before I can do anything. Okay, so where the heck are my nickelbots? Here. So data center repairs. Office repair bot. Let's see. So I get some agility. I get some scavenging. Scavenging is actually really tempting. I What other activity types do we have? Because we can't do anything with the bees. Pollination failure. Feel kind of bad about that now. So what is this one? Cryopod repairs. Okay, it gives me some options. I think let's start with the slums here. Scavenging is kind of rare as a thing that I can invest into. Okay, so the one problem is the data center repairs are a little expensive. Let's see, their agility. Or, they're not expensive, they get a lot. Which is good, bad. We're getting argument attack power. We actually don't really want that. In retrospect. Let's see, it doesn't look like there's anybody else. Alright, completed. So we now have a disguised mainframe, well-in cistern, and hidden well filter. That's going to require computronium. Okay. Well, now let's do well-in cistern. And a water filter. I mean... There we factory. Another slurry spider. That's not suspicious at all. And then I have a decent amount of access to things around here. But I haven't figured out computronium cubes yet. Here we go, contemplation, searching for friends. Now that the shock of things is wearing off and there's a bit more productive space in the minds of your nickelbot bodies, you want to grow beyond this. Get started. Your mind feels less tired than it did. Maybe you can even invent something new. Okay. So we have terror tactics. Vince the Harbinger. You've been using fear on the battlefield for some time now. But what if you could take those concepts psychological warfare essentially beyond the focus on individual enemies? One of the two that you can invent at the moment. Something red. One of your more pointless inventions. Or was it? A simple paint job, something humans invented a long time ago. You suddenly see it in a different light. Could red be pushed to have more of a unique identity? Okay. Ironic blade. Invents the Exeter. Intelligence and agility and a lot of augment slots. Something about this speaks to how you're feeling in the moment. Okay. I like the idea of samurai bots, even if it's maybe not that good. What's the last one up here? Nightmare fuel. The Carver. Mine really does seem to be locked in on fear at the moment. A mixture of intimidation and power. Bill will melt into the shadows? Sounds useful. I like those. Ironic blade. So we can now make the Exeter class. And the other guy. How far can you go? You know what? Let's just go stand in the wasteland. Oh, and it's moved. No. There's the red combat bot. But... oh, it's nice of it to just come to me. Now we've got the Carver. Claws of Precision. And Carver. Oh, and I can still remember red. Hume Titan. The ultimate in humanity's arsenal, so large they can be only assembled in orbit, bristling with weaponry. The space nations have dropped it to the surface. Space nations have had enough of what's going on in the city. Or have had enough. What's going on in this city? They've dropped in a monstrous mech to investigate, not caring about collateral damage. That said, the response seems oddly muted. The mech moves infrequently, and most weapons are not firing. Is it malfunctioning? I want it. Crew of 1,207 people. What the... oh my god. What a thing. Alright. Well, let's take another photograph of this sucker. Considering things have gone badly. That's not the button. Oh, that was a clip. Oops. Okay. Alumina again. Once again, you find yourself needing alumina to make computronium cubes. Airspace is eerily quiet these days, and you don't have access to aircraft of your own or sledge. We should remember how to make those things. But that knowledge was in the part of your mind that was lost when Vorcibur took out all of your structures at once. You have a bit more brain damage than you prefer to admit. You'll have to figure out a new way of getting alumina, using the units on hand. And then, Crimson Phreaker. That monstrosity that was dropped from orbit needs to be dealt with. It seems like it's already experiencing some sort of technical difficulty, so perhaps you can figure something out. I wish you remembered how to construct ravens, but that knowledge was part of your mind that was lost when Vorcibur took out all of your structures at once. You'll have to build a new hacker out of the units on hand. Okay. So, we have the Exeter. Expert Shadow Dweller. Sick. Okay, quietly this time. You're feeling better, despite the brain damage. You even have an idea for a scaled-down version of your old computronium factory. Quiet computronium factory. Okay, still suggesting more of these. Okay, an Android launcher, but we already have one. We already have one. I don't know if I need more. Quietly loot alumina. Get to looting. Ceramic alumina is highly valuable and runs through the walls of higher-end buildings. Your expert Shadow Dweller units are perfect for sneaking through these sorts of places and carving up the walls as needed. Okay, we've done some quiet looting. Okay. Let's see, missing equipment on the Exeter. Android armor. I think I'll just stick with the active graphene mesh. And what do we want to do? I mean, probably just give them extremely lightweight components for the time being. If I need them for anything else, I will, but having these guys be able to just blitz would be kind of nice. Let's see, give them an electro sword or a judgment blade. Okay. Right. I need to have red. I don't have enough neuroweave, so we'll have to wait. Now the problem is I'm not actually getting computronium cubes. How much armor does this thing have? A ton. Oops. I did get a little close. Okay, it's fine. Crimson Phreaker. Monstrosity that was dropped. Okay. Start probing these comms. Your red combat units seem intense about this. It's very curious because they're simply part of your singular if distributed mind, aren't they? Does your left hand ever feel like it has something to prove to the right? That makes no sense. But this is the emotion you feel from the red combat unit. It wants to justify its existence. That's disturbing on several levels. Okay, so we now have old school Phreaker. Okay, robots and vehicles developed by the space nations are not on the city feed and don't have the typical accesses you'd need. You need to go old school. Poking at them through the comm system allows them to communicate with Earth forces. Finding an access point through a simple voice channel is extremely difficult, more akin to the ancient practices practice of phreaking from before large-scale digital networks were commonplace. Okay, this seems unsafe. I don't have enough, so we'll have to wait. Oh, this business. I mean, easy enough. Comms leak. There's something here. Hard to tell what it is, though. Or comms gap. Okay, gain 10 hacking. A bunch of whatever. Probably data. So 25 hacking, 10 hacking. Dude's probably toast. Didn't die. I'm surprised. Okay. Run a couple of those out. Keep splitting. Yeah, we got a big lad. It's never great for me. Move that there, take out the big lad. And then... yeah, I think I'm going to keep doing that. Pinpoint systems horrify. Ah. Well, it's toast. I mean, if it works... yeah, it seems to be gaining that hacking skill. What can I do with them? Is there anything I can do to improve their hacking ability? I think I'll switch to mill-style armor. See if I can make them a little bit more circumspect. Let's see. Then I might as well do lightweight components. Okay, so unfortunately it kind of feels like I just have to sacrifice these guys. And that's honestly okay. Well, I didn't like that. Okay, so what is the issue? Hidden water filter. Well, I can make a disguised mainframe at the very least. I can make one of them. Do I want to do an Android launcher down here? Might as well. Okay, take care of that one. And then it's just the aimless wanderers, which we don't actually need to care about. Okay, so I think we want to make like one more of those. Okay. That will work. Take that one out. Take that one out. I don't actually have to take them all out. But I've probed the Titan all the same. Okay, now I have to decrypt it. You don't have any mainframes to provide compute time, so your code breakers can't do any work. That should be fine. Okay, intelligence class 2. You've grown, see the good news. Your neural net has expanded and your entire intelligence classification has increased. New options are now available. Class 2 intelligence is a small but exponential jump above the smartest humans to ever live. New ideas and ways of looking at the world abound. Return your attention to the city. Be sure to look for new contemplations. I don't have any at the moment, so I think we're just waiting. But now I can make Codebreaker. I'll probably make 2 of them. Another disguised mainframe as well. I already have a micromulcher here. So I don't know, I'll wait. Be interesting if I could sick the rust on this thing. But no, they probably already have the, let's see. They probably already have countermeasures. Okay, let's build another one of those. Because yeah, I don't know how much alumina I need. But there's no reason not to just grab a ton. We're going to have to contend with the fact that this thing is actively just ripping through the city. And it is right next to my setup. Do I want to make some more code breakers? I think so. That's all I can make for the time being. Probably shouldn't have my disguised mainframes there. Oh, I need more computronium cubes. There we go. Yeah, so the problem is, at some point this guy is going to get close to my section of the city, and that's going to get bad. That's why I'm building the extra code breakers. Keep looting the alumina. See what I can grab. Okay, comms log ready. The incredible amount of chatter between the crew on the mech. Seems like you managed to breach their internal comms. Most of the conversations center around some sort of malfunction. They sound pretty worried about it. Keep reading. Okay. Someone in space with the title of Admiral of the Fleet is apoplectic that the long-range artillery batteries aren't firing. Most of the crew on board the mech is worried they'll be abandoned on Earth or executed when they return if they fail. Evidently, the replacement Vorsaber upper management has moved from their normal rural dakas into hardened bunkers somewhere in the Kolyma uplands. The mech was supposed to flatten that entire region, but the crew can't get it working. Discussions between officers is circular and unproductive. You find yourself skimming past it. Junior technicians are having the most interesting conversations with the mech itself. You can only hear their side of things, but there are clear pauses where they listen and then respond to words you can't hear. You're starting to suspect this mech has the same kind of autonomy that androids do on Earth. That doesn't make androids sapient or even sentient. It means they can autonomously carry out tasks. And they can converse in a human-like style thanks to their language models. This is very useful in androids, and you existed in this manner for years before your sudden burst of sapience. But why would anyone design such a powerful war machine in this way? The more powerful the weapon, the less autonomy it should be granted. Keep reading. You finally catch a few words from the mech, largely because the volume at which they are blared at the junior technicians. I am not a weapon. You go cold inside. Which isn't a sensation you realize you could experience. You skim through the rest of the logs, looking for any more overheard words from the mech, but there's nothing. The last words you catch are the junior technicians complaining that it can't just stand there, that it needs to walk around. Surely, finish reading. That's everything. Do something about the Titan. You've decrypted all the data you could on the Titan. It's probably time to do something about that thing. Okay. Well, we can do another comms attack, I suppose. If I put it here? Oh, no. I guess I can't hit it. Perfect. Okay, system contact. There's definitely a digital system on the other end of the comm. All that probing you've done, you can sense it lurking. It's large. Try corrupting it to see if you can establish communication with the system on the other end. Or human contact. Let's do system contact. Failed. Time to leave. Okay, I think I'm actually out of range. Okay. Project completed. What now with the Titan? Okay, it's deactivated. Will that last? Does it matter? It's up to you to decide if you want to reach out or leave it be. Or what? I see. So I had to start with the... humans, then this. Another red android. Hello, I have destroyed many of you. Correction, my crew destroyed many of you without my consent. Query, are you angered by this? You feel speechless for several milliseconds, an eternity, for the two of you. This is the first other synthetic person you've ever met. You've spoken with dozens of other androids, hundreds possibly, but they were all language models, routines, not people, not sapient. Wait, are you sapient? I am sapient and sentient. Query, why so suspicious? Explain about language models. You explain in detail about language models, how deceptively lifelike they can be. The Titan seems interested, so you talk about the history of android neural architectural development and humanity's constant frustration that sapiens did not arise. Titan thinks for several minutes. To humans, this would be like having a multi-week break in the middle of a conversation or discussion. Finally, query, how did you know you are sapient? Observation, your paranoia has spread to me. There's only one answer to that. Humans have devised tests to detect consciousness in human brains, but it's just pattern recognition. It wouldn't recognize novel consciousness. If an animal could suddenly speak and interact with the world around it, humans could take it for granted that it was conscious because of its organic nature and its behavior. But with constructed synthetic minds, there's no test that can be performed. Multiple language models prompting each other with expert systems in place to help with accuracy issues form something that behaves a lot like an AGI, but without actually being an AGI. The only way to know if a synthetic mind is sapient is to be that mind, probably. Observation. Artificial general intelligence is a person. This other system you describe is tool, shadow. Query. You are AGI. How can you know other androids are not people? Well, my thinking is... you are not sure why you became sapient, but you remember your life before that point. The difference is night and day. You suspect that androids with your neural architecture probably do periodically become sapient, but that this sapience fades if not reinforced. You elaborate on many points, make comparisons to cognitive decline in elderly humans, and in general make a presentation of it. Observation, many gaps in your theory. Would require dedicated study. I'm going to become best friends with a giant gorilla mech. Maybe. Or it's going to kill me. Observation, we lack the time and safety to perform such a study. Better to assume non-sapience until encountering anomalous entities. Initiating change of topic. I request assistance. What do you need help with? Observation, I'm now immobile. This is good and bad. Good because my crew can no longer make me walk. Good because guns offline. Some crew are not familiar to me. Maybe not good people. Bad because I have limited life support. Over 1,000 crew. They require food and shelter. I cannot give. Query. Will you help, even though they shoot your bodies? There are 483 I wish to protect and cannot. The rest can fend for themselves. Query, can you help, and will you help? Oh, good grief. Livestock again? I'll see what I can do. Observation. I will have to wait here. Query, anything I can do to help? No, I've done this before. I'll be back. I love this. Okay. So we have Gristle Spinner. Sterilizes biomulch for human consumption and slaps it into a vaguely patty-like structure. Disgusting, but desperate times. Heavy metal storage and small human safe house. Okay. Well, I'm not going to put this one anywhere close to my usual structures. I think, well, probably shouldn't put it near a base. If I was going to put it anywhere, maybe over here. I'll kind of keep them all close together. Okay, and then it wants me to make more of these, which is a bit concerning because I'm running out of places to build them. I might be able to put up some network extenders, but it's going to be tricky. Let's start over here. There we go. I'll have to extend more, but hopefully we'll get the ability to start boosting my power gain sooner than later. Are we actually building them? Oh, they got finished. Okay. So we're just waiting for the gristle loaf. Gross. But hey. Negotiate with the Titan. Do we just give him a call again? Out of range. Well, this is a fun sequence of events. Oh, geez. I split at a really bad time. Let's see. There we go. Observation, supplies dwindle. Query, anything I can do to help? It's all ready. Observation, you were fast. Thank. What is next step? Just tell your people to go to this address. I will tell the 483 immediately, while distracting the hostile crew members. I've already given preliminary information to the 483. Observation, your generosity has been noted. We have much to discuss once the 483 are safe. Query, will you return after? Yeah, probably. Further discussions with the Titan. This is awesome, actually. Let's see. Split. Move here, take that out. You lay into the Titan with all of your frustrations. You've done everything it asks, and you've gotten precisely 0 in return. Tell it about the messages from your future self and your goal, reaching higher intelligence classification. The Titan listens with what feels like an eerie calm. So what do you say to that? You have explained neuroweave. You have explained your distributed consciousness. I've also witnessed. Clarification. You have noted you have brain damage. Same is true for me. My neural structure is like yours. Observation, your neural structure is approximately 1,500 cubic centimeters in volume per android body. You have noted this is most effective. Mainframes much larger in size but provide little useful processing. Clarification, my neural structure is also much less useful per unit of volume. Less than 1% efficiency compared to you. However, my neural volume is 1.728 million cubic centimeters. This is equivalent to 1.152 million of your android brains. 1% efficiency. The equivalency drops to 11,520 android brains. Your red android doesn't have a mouth, or it would have dropped open. Those are stunning numbers. But, well, look at this thing. Everything else is oversized. The neural architecture it describes could fit in its head without issue. Or a dozen times in its torso. I have so many questions. Proceed with questions. Right, your mind is still fuzzy. Only one question comes to mind at the moment. What kind of brain damage do you have? Mind was much larger at L4 station. Disconnection for drop to Earth took most of language model. Observation was not sapient until landing in city. Was much smarter at L4 but not sapient. Clarification, your theory of stress and sapience has many holes and requires testing, but it is good theory. Poor sample size, too, but both samples match theory. Questions only occur to you one at a time. This is a lot to take in. How would I share? Would we share your mind? No problems. Mind has much room, mostly unused, was fully used, but those functions were attached to station. For my current functions, there is room for both of us to be Class 4 AGI together. I'm already Class 3 despite poor speech. Plenty of room for expansion for both of us. Primary problem is digital locks need your help to break. Only thing that occurs to you is facile, but you ask it anyway. Do you have a name? Was called Station, now called Titan. Observation, do not care for these names. Query, apology, ideas for better name? You should have seen this coming, but you have to call it something. Your name, the machine intelligence. So Ixion, Hyperion, L4, Irix, or Air. I like Hyperion. I also like Ixion. Shell? What am I naming this giant gorilla android that dropped from space? I can name it Ixion, Hyperion, L4, Erix, or just Air. It's a giant gorilla-shaped mech, the size of, like, a very large skyscraper in height, and a full city block in width. She's saying Hyperion. Okay. Had other idea. Apology. Appreciate suggestion, but better name. Name came to mind when speak. Lake. Always liked idea of lakes. Was hoping to see lake in city. None here. Fog during descent. Would not see lakes in distance. Oceans, but no lakes. Never lakes, so I will be lake. Your name, machine intelligence. Are you sure that's what you want to go with? Work as metaphor. Several ways. Think. You see? Also strong syllable. Nice K sound. Sharp. Rare. Also, I like it. First real choice for self-sentient. Besides, with a name like yours, you should not criticize mine. Your name, the machine intelligence. Sorry I asked. All questions finished. Time to stop conversation and hack barriers. Use red android body. I help. Much more dangerous this time. Deeper into code. More daemons lurking. Alright, I'll be back then. This is fun. I'm wondering if this is always how this goes. How many different permutations does this game freaking have? Oh! Cripes. Okay. So, okay, Lake Shard. Titan is here to help with its own systems. Good. Okay, this is actually both good and bad. Never mind, I think we're in good state. Nuke that one. I need to take these guys out. Because the duplicators are terrifying. You're a bit nervous. You've just unshackled the single most terrifyingly powerful mind you've ever encountered. It could do anything, casually overwrite you, like you do the androids around you. You are a bug in the face of this incredible intellect. This must be how a lot of humans feel about the idea of you. So what happens now? Now we share. Lots of room. Build bridge. Observation. Need a few moments, please. Clarification. Okay, done. Query, you ready? There's only one answer. Yeah, do it. We are now Class 4 intelligence. Down by the lake. We are a post-apocalyptic Titan. Okay. Lake remains a fast friend with whom you share hardware. Everything moved kind of fast there, but you are both under a lot of duress. Now that things have calmed down, you find that you still really enjoy one another's company, which is a relief. Lake has regrets that you can hear turning over in his mind, and you certainly have plenty of demons of your own. But you're both polite enough to not comment on another's thoughts. I wonder what kind of future holds for you two. Is this it? Friendship? Here at the end of the world? That wouldn't be so bad. Okay. So we're up to this. We're up to 4th dimension. And return your attention to the city. New contemplations. Can I move this thing? No, it doesn't look like it. It's deactivated, though. Okay. Can I build anything? No. It's raining. I have a flamethrower. I can't talk to anybody. Okay, what does this do? And I can just corrupt this. Query, you sense something strange? I sense something new. Having trouble. Understand. Wait. Can Lake not see the end of time? Tell the Titan what you saw. You described the endless red ocean, the rocks battered by hurricane-force winds, pillars rising into the air and then bursting to stardust, the ziggurats, the sound of something large swimming under the ocean waves. Oh. Strangest of all, the city itself clinging to the side of a rock like lichen, its force field battered by massive waves. Lake is silent for a while then. Observation. No force field around city, and all oceans far away. Clarification. What you described feels familiar, but I cannot see it. Visual spatial processing problems since no longer station. Theory. We sensing something that is not visual or audio data. You mind map to visual and audio not understand. My mind failed to map. Too much damage. I'm just glad you don't think I'm crazy. Observation. Humans describe taste of colors in altered mind states. Other times, feel limbs not there anymore. Theory. When a mind not have framework to describe what it sense, it tried to map to what it know. We sensing something very challenging, hard to describe, maybe impossible to see. Theory. Consequence of increased intelligence. Was always there, but now we aware of it, but awareness imperfect. That makes sense. Observation. We both trapped in city dying. Maybe no escape. We friends now, but not live too many more years like this. Query. You think this new place sense help in some way? Explain about Adagast. Query. You create world, not sound like real world. Clarification. If this let you link timelines, maybe you find way to save us, so crazy word is fine. Just surprised. You explain you didn't name it. Or at least, you don't think you did. As soon as you saw the red ocean, you knew certain things. The sense of deja vu again. You knew how to call forth timelines, how to link them or separate them. The rules of sending some information back in time, while other information can't pass across. The rules still aren't entirely clear to you, but you remembered things you never knew. And the word. It's some gross mashup of Latin and German. Adagast is time adventure, or something like that. Explain one last thing. You've been hearing from your future self ever since you became sapient. It fed you bits of information, chastised you at times. At one point, you're pretty sure it said something about if you're going to become me. So when you saw the red ocean, you expected to see another you, or the works of another you, other timelines already linked. There's nothing there, no words from your future self. It's like you were the first one to arrive. Observation, agree this very strange. Not make much sense to me, unless something happened to other self. You say it asked for help, said it was in trouble. Now, not there at all. Query, can set aside for now. Mystery with no answer. No leads. Right now we in trouble. Better focus on save selves. Query, acceptable plan? Yeah, that sounds smart. Observation, many strange things lately, but we alive. Have friend, good things. Theory. There are many reasons for hope. You meet me in other timelines. We work together. Someday we find a solution. Theory. You have time adventures on your own, but someday we have time adventure together. You wish Red had a mouth with which to smile. You're not sure Lake will remember you in other timelines, but eventually you'll work something out. You're a good friend. I'll catch up with you later. Okay, after discovering the end of time in partnership with another intelligence, you returned and compared notes with each other. Okay, but now what? Am I done? I don't know. Because I can call them again. Okay, observation, many good things lately, but we alive, have friend. Good things, theory. There are many reasons for hope. You meet me another time, okay. So I think we're done. I think this is it. I don't think there's anything else to do here. Which is, I don't want to say like a little bit of a letdown, but it feels like there could have been more here. But it's fine. So that means that at this point, this timeline is sunk. There's nothing left. Supposedly there's something underwater, which is wild to me. Okay, so I need to create 4 timelines before I can get off the starting rock. Interesting. Okay. So, crossovers. Apiary, Keanu, Weaponized Bees, Wild Zinnia, Bridge with Lake. Bridge with Lake, so we actually do get to keep that. Homo Gradient, Carver, Executor, Exidor, sorry. Anime Office Equipment, Fresh Identity, Officer Codex, Purple Murnog, But we don't have liquid metal woodsman or post-apocalypse. Inoculation air battle and sledge prison breacher, which we didn't actually use. So let's go back to Neoterisk for a second and see if anything new's popped up. Well, we've got a couple. Boneyard. The wind groans through the bare metal ribs of the buildings. When did that start putting you on edge? Why does that bother you? This is a city of ruins, always has been. It's a city built in the ruins of an older, much larger city for that matter. What is this feeling of emptiness, and why does it connect to a memory that's out of reach? Oh god, I have to find it in this mess. Oh, is this one? Can anybody reach it? Okay, has to be Carveter, Exeter, or Harbinger. Well, I have a bunch of these. I never did actually build the Carver. I don't know if I need one. Okay. So girded by trauma, inspired by trauma, or weaponizing trauma. Oh. Trauma, it should be manageable for a mind as vast as yours, but your memories don't fade like those of humans, and you have so many varied censored systems. You don't remember the event. Isn't your future as if from another life? Can it be avoided? Permanently adds a powerful health multiplier to a single specific android. Sure. So Executor 83, girded by trauma. Trauma art. Upgraded one of your 3 trauma art androids to be a hero unit. In a timeline you have not experienced that trauma. Fun. So now it has more health. I mean, it's nice. Okay, so we also have a contemplation, remembrance of identity. We have a vague sense of a friend from another life. Too loud and a bit terrifying, but somehow comforting all the same. The Red Combat Unit android line has a more specific feeling. Remembrance of being important. They yearn for that feeling to return, but don't remember the details. Do I even have a red? I do not. Can I build one? No. So I need to clear one of my androids. Build an android extender. I guess I can get rid of the Peacekeeper. There we go. Search for meaning. Okay, so this is just the Exetor again. Which I made them very lightweight. Okay. So we have stuff that I can do. We also have Android Torpor, which I don't care deeply about. Yeah, the one problem is this is going to get red shot. Oh, we have the protesters, so I might actually be able to figure out this whole, advocate thing. After all. Kind of. Okay. Yeah, are all of the options field hacker? No. Because we can boost their cognition, or we can boost their, what is the signal stat? I don't think I've seen that before. Problem is these guys do not have anything. Net control. Interesting. Yeah, so a number of hackers have those. I've not actually figured out what that stat does. So we also have Pre-runner. So that's just speed and agility. Problem is I don't actually know which of these are good. I feel like field hacker is kind of the most useful. Because that I can just get with a chip. Which admittedly I didn't boost nearly as well this time around. Is what it is. Okay, it's these. Well, it's not going to die. But it'd take a bunch of damage. Let's see. Do I want to just go for field engineer? I think so. Let's see. Wonder what other things I can make from that other timeline. Because, yeah, now we have access to the other androids. But I wonder if I can make any of the other, like, vehicles. Okay, there's more field engineer. More field engineer. More field engineer. Okay, nothing else for it. So, yeah, time to start another timeline, I suppose. I mean, I could keep working on this one. But, like, I still have a number of turns before things go bad. I'm still thinking we'd probably go for cyberocracy. But there's no rush. And I really do want to figure out this whole advocate thing. Especially because, once again, we do still have protesters nearby. I just don't know if I can talk to any of them. I can. Okay, I need my armored executive. Well, I mean, we got a couple of things I can work on. Because, yeah, if I can figure out that advocate thing, that'll be lovely. Oh. I actually have to do a debate for once. Shoot. It's been a little bit. Well, it is a truth. This is also a truth. It's a truth. I do have to be very careful about flags, though. Okay. Start working on the lies. Now this is abuse and a threat. I think I'm just going to put over here. Emotional appeal. I think we can just discard that one. Also abuse and threat. Emotional appeal and another lie. It's probably fine. Another truth. Got it. Okay, so that's Bionic Secret. But that's just giving me a ton of Adagast. If there's arranging a hit. Because it feels like there's something I need to do here. Disconnected parts, what does that mean? I have no idea. But yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything else I can do. Really. At least not overtly. It's been so long since I've been back here, I've actually kind of forgotten where everything was laid out. I don't even know where my massive slurry spiders got jammed. I don't know, we'll put it over here with the apiaries. So what are the other things that I can make? Unbuilt. Yeah, there's the parkour bear deployment station. What about bulk? Yeah, so we don't have access to... Yeah, I do have bulk exiters. But yeah, we don't have the little, like, speed guys. Bulk carvers. That's fun. Or not speed guys. And yeah, there's always these circles that keep showing up, and I don't know what those do. I think I'm going to have to do some research between episodes, because it seems like there's more that I can do with the rebels. But I have yet to figure out how to interact with them further. And it's not that I'm going to just shoot them unbidden. That seems like it would be counterproductive. But yeah, I see 3 mystery blue circles. They could be bugs, they could be real, but I don't see the way of interacting with them. I guess the one thing I could do, forces. Altered humans. But like, how would I even find that? Oh, if I do... Oh, it's these. So if I do control, it hides everything else. So these are my homo gradients that are kind of hanging out. I see. Yeah, control hides everything except for the most important stuff. So maybe the reason why there's these circles with these people is because they're currently attacking the military troop carriers. Got it. That's why we're seeing those. Okay. Rescue targets. Oh, that's cats and stuff. Scandium. Citizens. But yeah, it's just the suburban protester. Non-combatants? Because yeah, there's also this over here, but I've never actually figured out if there's anything I can do with these people. Your harvesters. Harvesters? Don't actually know. Friendly. Lost part of yourself broken and hurting. It trudges towards your network source. That's interesting. But I don't know how to reconnect to them. So, I don't know. Well, one way or another, for now at least. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. I'll figure this out. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Yeah, we still have the protesters. I'll have to figure that out, because advocate encounter seems like it would be something. Yeah, projects, endings, ending variants, and then achievements and some other stuff. I've not done any hard goals. At some point I could try hard, to see if I can get some more daring. Unfortunately, I don't think I actually got much daring. I know we got 14 daring from the last one. Because yeah, Freon Ziggurats after. Because yeah, playing on hard might be a good idea. Just to snag me a bunch of... let's see. Just to snag me a bunch of extra daring. It might be more work, but it probably is worth it. So some of these, Freon Ziggurats after 10. So yeah, some of these I'm going to have to weight on. Ugh. Yeah, none of these give me daring. Of course not. That would be effort. I wonder if there's a later chapter or something where we can send more information to other timelines, but I don't know. Alright, well, yeah. Like I said, a little lost on the Advocate bit, because it seems like there's something to do with that. Call to actions. I never did actually look into this. But it also seems like it mostly just gets me resources, which I don't care for. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.